If you are building an AI startup right now in 2026, you have probably heard this phrase floating around a lot. It's just a wrapper. And founders hate hearing that when you tell them. But here's the truth. Most investors are thinking it. Even if they don't say it out loud or share it with you, now that doesn't really mean your company isn't valuable, but it definitely doesn't mean AI wrappers can become real businesses. But there's a difference between an AI feature and an AI company. So in this video, I wanted to break down what investors actually mean when they say it's just a wrapper, what defensibility look like in AI today, when wrapper are actually smart way to start, the problem with building startups purely with AI development tool, and I'm excited about this one, so let's get in. First, let's define the term. An AI wrapper usually means a product that sits on top of an existing AI model. So maybe you're using Claude, OpenAI, Anthropic, Google Gemini, or maybe other large model provider. So your product calls their API, adds a UI, maybe adds some automation to the workflow and delivers value to the users. Now, here's something important. This is not automatically bad. Almost every successful technology company built on top of other infrastructure. So nobody says a SaaS company is a wrapper because they use AWS, or if they use Stripe, it's a wrapper for banks. And nobody says Shopify is a wrapper for payment processors. So the issue isn't what you're building on top of model. The real issue is defensibility of your idea. Because of the core value, your company can disappear the moment the model add more feature. Then the long-term value of your company does not really show and last. So when investors say this is just a wrapper, what they usually mean, there's no moat yet, no clear reason this company should win long-term and exist. If the only thing your startup does is call an API and a prompt and beautiful UI, then another team could recreate it very quickly, or the model provider could add the feature themselves. So investors start asking questions like, what gets better as this company grows? What data advantage are they building? What switching cost will exist or look like for customers? What prevents a competitor from closing in on this and building it in 6 months? So let's talk about what actually counts as a defensibility in AI company right now. So the first category is data advantage. If your product collects proprietary data that improve the system and the model over time, that's very powerful. So think about it as an AI tools in an industry or a specific industry like healthcare, legal services, insurance, customer support, finances. If your system is learning from real workflows, real cases, real decisions, data becomes incredibly valuable. Computers can't easily replicate it. The second form of defensibility in workflow ownership, if your AI product becomes embedded inside companies' operations, it becomes very hard to replace. For example, AI managing customer support pipelines, AI handling insurance claims workflows, coordinating caregiver scheduling, running internal documentation systems. When AI becomes part of how the company operates, switching tools becomes very painful. So that's where durability starts to appear, and it's a high, good competitive advantage of your startup. The third layer is vertical specialization. So generic AI products are easily to copy, but AI product built for a very specific industry can win big in the long term. Think about AI tool built specifically for dentists, insurance adjusters, caregivers, agencies, construction firm, law and lawyer and law practices. Deeper your product understand the industry, the harder it becomes to replace it. Now, here's something founders should hear clearly. I'm not saying starting a wrapper is completely wrong. Actually, it is fine. In fact, it's often the smartest way to start and the cheapest way to start with a wrapper. Early stage startups should focus on one thing, finding product market fit and getting customers. You need to answer questions like, does anyone actually want this? Will someone pay for this? What problems are we solving? Using existing AI models lets founders move 10 times faster. And instead of spending years training models, you can focus on customers. But the key is this. Your company cannot stay just a wrapper forever. And the goal should be to use that starting point to build the deeper advantages over time. So now let's talk about something newer that investors are seeing a lot right now. And I'm hearing a lot from founders that I talk to. Startups built almost entirely using AI development tools. So tools like Lovable, Riplet, Bolt, Cursor, V0, there's plenty of them and many others. These tools are incredible. They allow founders to build, I would say, high functional prototype extremely really fast. You can go from idea to working product in maybe a weekend or a week. But here's where things get really tricky. So some founders pitch companies where the entire product was generated by AI tools, and there is very little actual engineering or technical architecture behind it. So when investors hear that, concerns pops up. If you build this in a week, someone else can do that too. Speed is good, but defensibility matters. So if the entire company can be built or rebuilt by another founder with the same tools, the barrier to entry is extremely low. And the truth is, investors are seeing flood of this AI-generated products, hundreds of them. Many look similar. Many solve the same problem or different problem in a different way. And most of them lack a long-term advantage or vision. So now again, these tools are amazing for building prototype. They are great for validating ideas, but they should be the starting point, not the entire foundation of your company. The strongest founders eventually need to build custom infrastructure, proprietary system and models, unique workflows, and technical depth that competitors can't easily copy. So now let's talk about something subtle. There are certain things founders say during pitches that instantly lower investor confidence. And most investors wouldn't give you the feedback. So even if they don't realize it, please hear me out and try not to say these in your pitches. A founder might say, for example, we're just using an OpenAI integration. It's so easy now. What investors hearing, anyone can build this. And another common one, we don't need a big operation anymore. Everything runs on the cloud. Again, I think the intention here is to sound lean and quick. But what investors hear is there may not be much here beyond the surface of what you're seeing. And here's a few other examples that raise quite red flags for us. AI basically does most of the work. Investors wonder, then what exactly is the company building and what are you doing and the team you're building doing? Another one, we haven't really needed customers yet because AI helped us build the product first. That's one of my favorites. And it really makes me disappointed that the single most something dangerous building without real users. And the strongest startup usually do the opposite. They start with messy problems and real customers. You don't build the product first and then you go try to find the customers to solve their problem, and then build the product and technology to help them. So again, fast development is really great, but great companies are not defined by how many features they can add. They're defined by the problems they solve deeply and they deeply understand. So my advice, so instead of worrying about whether someone calls your company a rapper, ask a different question to yourself. What gets stronger about this company every month that passes? Is it the data? Is it the workflows? Is it the industry expertise? Is it the distribution? Is it the customer relationships? Because best AI companies aren't just building features, they are building compound advantage over time. And that's ultimately what investors look for to gain trust of your idea, your company, and your startup. If you're building an AI startup right now, I would love to hear what you're working on. Please drop it in the comment, reach out. And if you're a founder or investor interested in the future of AI companies, please subscribe or reach out to us at indypixels.co. We talk about the real side of building AI startups here and would love to meet more founders and investors as we go. The things most people don't say out loud, we try and share it here so other founders and startups can hear it and learn from it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.